My dear students, I welcome you all to my educational channel. The name of my educational channel is Priyanka Dotto. Here you will find video presentations on English language and literature of school level, college level, as well as of competitive examinations. Now, today's assignment is a video presentation on the poem entitled On Killing a Tree. The name of the poet is Gibb Patel. Gibb Patel, as you should keep in mind, is an Indian poet. The topics to be covered in today's video presentation are discussion of stanza 1 of the poem, word notes of stanza 1 of the poem, and paraphrase of stanza 1 of the poem. Now let us move to the text of the stanza 1 to discuss it intensely. The poem begins in this way: it takes much time to kill a tree. So, the first thing the poet wants to impress upon us is the fact that our assumption about the time which it takes to kill a tree is wrong. It takes a longer period to kill a tree. And another thing to note is that the poet has deliberately used the verb kill. So, while discussing the title of the significance of the title, rather, I focused on the point that by using the word kill, the poet has tried to draw our attention to something else. And here, once again, in the first line of the poem, the very word kill has been used. What does the poet say? Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. If we thrust the knife into the belly of a human being, that human being will surely die. But that will not be the case with a tree. So, a tree has greater vitality in comparison to a human being. Next, the poet tells about the source of this vitality of the tree, which helps the tree to face a jab of the knife and still exist. What the poet says is that it has grown slowly, consuming the earth. So the poet makes it clear that a tree has a slow growth. We know that if growth is slow, it is bound to be steady. Okay, then the poet has used the word consuming. Consuming means burning. We may say that a taper or a candle gives light by consuming itself. Similarly, the tree has grown by consuming the earth or soil. Rather, we can say that in the process of growth and development, the tree has drawn nutrients from the soil itself. These nutrients, by applying our basic knowledge of life science, we can assume that these nutrients can be water, mineral salt, and other things which the tree needs to boost up its strength. Rising out of it, a tree rises out of the soil. Here is a very clever suggestion of germination. In case of germination, the root of a tree comes out from the seed, and when that root goes deep into the soil, finds nutrient, then the seed comes out on the soil in the form of a stem. That's why the poet has said rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, The word feeding may mean two things. Means making someone feed or taking food oneself. Here, the poet wants to mean the tree has taken its own food. From where? Upon the crust. Crust means upper layer of the soil. So, what the poet told in the fourth line as earth, in the sixth line, the poet specifies it to crust, meaning the upper part of the soil, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water. In the process of growth, the tree has taken water and mineral salt by virtue of its root and by virtue of its stem, rather the leaves, the other parts of its body. It has taken sunlight and air. So here is a clear suggestion that the poet has deliberately avoided the use of the word oxygen. Why? Because while respiration, the tree takes oxygen from the air, but while it prepares its own food, which in the language of life science we can call, or rather we call photosynthesis, a tree takes carbon dioxide. So the word here, the word air here embodies two elements, oxygen as well as carbon dioxide, and out of its lepra side sprouting leaves, we have given a jab of the knife on the stem of a tree. Okay, then we have taken out that knife, as we do in order to kill a human being. So there must be some kind of a wound on the stem itself, especially where we have jabbed that knife. The wound on the stem of the tree will recover, and the wounded part will heal, means recover, in due course of time. But the surface of the stem, especially where the knife was thrust into the stem, the surface would be different. How different? Because that outer surface would be spotted. It will have a black mark. Okay, and it will not have that usual gloss which the outer part of the stem of a tree usually has. Now, a person who has suffered from leprosy has recovered, but the skin of that person will be rough and spotted. So, the poet finds a resemblance between the skin of a person who has suffered from leprosy and the hide of a tree that has suffered the thrust of a knife. That's why the poet has used the word leprous. The word leprous has come from the noun leprosy. Here, leprous is an adjective. Now, if you have heard my presentation about the life of Gibb Patel, of course, you must have heard. Okay. There, I clearly mentioned that Gibb Patel was a physician or a doctor by profession. So, the kind of change the skin of a person has due to suffering from leprosy is known to the poet because of his attachment with the medical profession. And the poet makes it clear is that the part of the tree, or rather the part of the stem where the knife was thrust, will become injured. It will heal, and from that part leaves will sprout. That is, those leaves will make it evident the fact that the tree has fought with human violence, which was inflicted upon the tree in the form of thrusting a knife on the stem. So, this is all what I have to say about the discussion of the first stanza of the poem entitled On Killing a Tree. Now, let us move to the next section of this video presentation. I would call it next topic. The topic is word notes from stanza 1. So, let us move there. The first word note, much time. It means a lot of time. The second word note, kill, means destroy or take life out of something. While discussing what we should expect from the poem, I clearly mentioned that the word killing, or rather the deliberate use of the word killing on the part of the poet, is a clear indication that he wants to equate the tree with a human being. Okay, so while taking down this word note of kill, you must, or rather you may point out that, or you may take down the fact that by using the word kill, the poet is equating the tree to a human being. Okay. The next word note, simple, ordinary. The next word note, jab, it means blow. The next word note, knife, it means a sharp weapon. The next word note, do, it means accomplish. Of course, here, that is in the context of the poem. The next word note is it. It means killing a tree. Within bracket here. The next word note, sorry, you may add with it. So, killing a human being is easier than killing a tree. The next word note, it means the tree. So, in the same stanza, you find the same pronoun with different connotation. So, you must keep it in mind. So, if it be in the case of the first it will mean, it will mean rather killing of a tree. If it is the it in the second case, it will refer to the tree. The next word note is grown, it means developed. The third word note is consuming, it means using. The next word note earth, it means soil. The next word note rising, it means developing. The next word note is feeding, it means collecting nutrients which are essential for its existence. The next word note is crust, it means the upper layer of the soil. The next word note is absorbing, it means taking in. The next word note is years of, it means for many years. The next word note is air, it means oxygen here. So I have only mentioned oxygen, not carbon dioxide here, because in case of a short question, or rather an objective type question, you will have to simply use the word air in the sense of oxygen. Okay. But if a question of 3 marks is set on the significance of the word air, you will have to use both, or rather you will have to mention both oxygen and carbon dioxide. Of course, in the course of my future video presentations on the short questions of this poem, you will find a question on the significance of the word air in this poem, or rather in this stanza of the poem. There the two gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, will be mentioned, and the reason of the introduction of these two gases while connoting the word air will be explained. Okay. The next word note is leprous, means rough and spotted. The word leprous is derived from the disease which we call leprosy. Okay. The next word note is hide. It means bark. The next, you may add with it, here the word hide is a noun, not a verb, where the word means to avoid someone's attention. So I have used it, or I have added the comment, keeping in mind the game hide and seek. Okay. The next word note is sprouting. It means developing. So this is all about the word note section from this stanza. Now let us move to the last topic of this video presentation, that is the paraphrase of the first stanza of the poem entitled On Killing a Tree. So a paraphrase of this stanza may be like this: it takes a lot of time to destroy a tree fully. A casual blow of the knife on the stem is not sufficient to take away the life of a tree. A tree has developed slowly. In the process of this growth, it has drawn nutrients from the upper layer of the soil. From a seed sown in the soil, it has developed to a tree. It has taken in natural elements like sunlight, oxygen and water. I have also used the word oxygen here, not carbon dioxide. Okay. To make the outer development complete, leaves have come out of the rough bark of the tree. Leaves have come out. Okay. You must add it. Now, before I move to the valedictory part of this video presentation, let me make it clear that there is an important announcement. Okay. In the description of this video presentation, you will find a link. By clicking on the link, you will be able to go to my personal blog or website, from where you will be able to view and download materials of word notes of stanza 1 of the poem as well as paraphrase of stanza 1 of the poem. Okay. Now, before concluding this video presentation, I would request you to subscribe to my channel, to share my video presentations to your friends, to put forward your comment and your queries in the comment section of this video presentation. I thank you. See you again in my next video presentation. Thank you once again.